Today's topic is secrets of happiness. And Swami wrote a little book called Secrets of Happiness, in which he gave one very small, simple thought for each day of the month. So 30 little thoughts in here. And so we thought, rather than sharing with you too many secrets today, we'll share with you one secret each, and that will give us an opportunity to go a little deeper into that secret. And the secret that I have chosen is day one, and something very important for me especially. The secret of happiness is the innocent enjoyment of simple things. Now the thoughts in this book, you'll think they're very simple, and you'll be like, oh, that's sweet, the innocent enjoyment of simple things, but there's so much profound depth in that one thought, especially if you give yourself an opportunity to meditate on the words. Swami has always offered us very simple thoughts, but he's always hoped that we take that thought deeper into ourselves. And this is a thought that's very important for me, especially because I'm someone who likes complicated things. I'm someone who likes things to be complex because it gives me an opportunity to use my intellect and my logic and my reason and get really involved in it. Because for me, if something's simple, I get bored. And in fact, I was reading this article, this research that was done, this study of professors in several universities in America. And what this study group they did was they took an article, several articles that are published in journals, depending on some scientist has written it or some research person has written it, and they took several articles that were very simple. I mean, they were stating something very important in that field, but the article was very simple. So this research group, what they did, they took that article, the simple article, and then they changed that article to have essentially the same thought, but to use big words and to use convoluted, sentences that sound more important. And they gave both these articles to all these professors and asked them which article is better. And everyone said that complicated article is better. Why? Because it has better research and it shows deeper insight. But all it's doing is taking the exact same simple article and just making more words up. And that's how we are a little bit, aren't we? And I've been going on this thought of simple to complex has been a theme that's kind of been going on in my mind for a while now. And it started with when we were moving from Pune to Delhi, Narayani and I. Naturally, when you end a cycle, you think of, how you began that cycle. You always go back to the beginning. When you're ending college, you think, oh, when I first came to college. So naturally, your mind kind of takes you back. And so my mind was taking me back to think of my time, those 5 years in Pune, what I've learned, what I gained from it, how I came, things like that. And what I realized very quickly was that when I first came to Pune, I was so much happier. I was so much more joyful. I was so much more free. And because things back then were very simple. We just had a piece of land, we had nothing else. And all of us who were living there, we just did whatever was needed. We would carry heavy bricks, we would mix cement, we would do construction, we would do anything that was needed. We didn't get any salaries. We didn't have any place to stay, so we slept on the floor outside under the stars, or we slept in unfinished buildings. We ate whatever we could eat, whether it was fruit or some sandwich, whatever was available, and we were just very happy. But then little by little the ashram grew, buildings got built and guests started coming and our responsibilities increased, and then we started getting stipends for our responsibility, and guests needed to eat, so the food quality needed to increase, and things started becoming complicated. And you get caught up in that complication, you get caught up in that complexity because you think you need to do that, and you do. But then what happens in that process is you forget that original thought that brought you there. And I said, why did I come? Because I came for joy, I came for freedom, and I came for God. But somewhere the complicated things take precedence over that original thought. And there is no avoiding complexity, and which shouldn't, because complexity is growth. Just as the human body, from that single cell, becomes this complicated, complex network of systems that is fit to receive God. You see, if we didn't have such a complicated body, we wouldn't be able to receive God into this body. So the complexity is important. The fact is, how can we hold on to the simple essence that exists in absolutely everything? Everything has that simple thought at the end behind of it. Every desire has the simple origin, I want to be happy. So rather than thinking of the desire, if we come back to the origin of that simple thought, wouldn't our lives be better? But the problem is that most of us are not ready to see simplicity because we're so caught up in the complexity. So how do we see simplicity in the complexity? Well, you start here. You start with the innocent enjoyment of simple things. Don't start with complicated things. Start enjoying simple things. Swami was marvelous at it. We'd be walking down the street and he'd just be like, oh, that's a beautiful color of your sari. He wouldn't mind. He felt it. It was simple. It was beautiful. He'd just say it to anybody who's walking on the street. All of us would be like, it's a nice sari, those are nice shoes, but we're not going to say anything about it. We shouldn't show that we appreciate these things. The innocent enjoyment of simple things. I love the word innocent because our intellect doesn't need to be involved in simple things. In complicated things, our intellect gets involved and we have to have a reason to enjoy it. But with simple things, we don't need a reason. We just go directly to pure feeling, just the heart. And to connect with the heart of everything, we need to connect with that simple, original thought in our lives. And that's important for all of us to remember. And it's important for all of us to remember to start here, from this little thought, the innocent enjoyment of simple things. It's so, it's almost so simple that you'd not even pay attention to it. But I've realized more and more in my life that happiness has always eluded me when I have not been able to enjoy the simplicity of it. I don't know, I only know very few people in my life, including Narayani and Swami, who I've seen who can really enjoy simple things. Otherwise, almost all of us enjoy the complexity of it. Are the movies that we watch, the books that we read, we need the plot to be interesting. We need the plot to, capture us. And we are unable to go to that simple essence that is the truth of that thought. When we want to justify ourselves, when we need to say that we're standing for a principle and we have something that we're angry about, what's the simple thought? The ego is hurt. That's just the simple thought. But we have to complicate it by saying, no, we're standing for something greater and better, and I need to stand for this principle and this person didn't understand me, I need to justify myself. No, your ego is hurt. That's all right. If you appreciate and accept that simple thought, that's it. You wouldn't need to get further involved in it. There's no need to complicate the matter further. Because you could just appreciate that. You could just feel that. You didn't have to intellectualize it too much. And in the end, I think all of us need to remember, especially with the spiritual path, with all our techniques, with all our practices, with all our philosophies, with all the yamas, niyamas, with all the theories, what's the simple thought then? Love God. That's the thought we need to remember. We don't need to necessarily get caught up in that. Those things will help, just as complexity helps. If we didn't increase and grow the ashram, we wouldn't be able to reach out to more people. So it's not like, oh, let's just be simple and be dirty and frugal. No. Be complicated, be expansive, be the best you can be. But don't kind of let that complexity take precedence over that original simple thought. And so start by this. Start by enjoying innocently the simple things in life. Whatever they are, choose, go through your life. Say, what's simple in my life? And if you don't have something simple, find something, create something simple in your life. But again, especially on the spiritual path, don't forget that thought. Just love God. And blessings.
I want to share something.
Okay. That's the first.
No, it's on the same topic actually. We were coming here.
Sorry, Raksha, can we share it after the satsang?
Sure.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It's so interesting because we always think that we don't have what we want, and I'm always so jealous in a good way of Shurjo's mind because he's so intelligent and I'm so simple. And I wish.
Simplicity.
So it's so much fun. You know, when we were thinking about the topic for this weekend, both of us thought to choose one of these topics of this book, and he chose number 1, and I just opened it. I say, okay, let's see what, just by chance. And for me, it came the day 11, and I thought probably it's because I need to work on this even deeper, since the universe gave me this message. And it says, the secret of happiness is the determination to be happy always, rather than wait for outer circumstances to make one happy. I know that many of us, we know that we should be happy under all circumstances, but it's not that easy. We get caught up constantly, outwardly, in what is going on in our lives. I was thinking yesterday about the whole process, because from the moment that we are born, the world tends us to believe, make us believe that our happiness depends on outward circumstances. Since we are born, we cry for food, and we are not even aware. We cry for food, and we won't be happy until our mom gives us that food. Then we grow up, and we see our neighbors, they have those beautiful toys. Mommy, I want that toy, and I won't be happy until I have that toy. Then you have that toy, and you think you are happy. Then you grow up, you won't be happy until you go into the right college. Then you go to college, and then you are happy. But then you won't be really happy until you buy that super car that will make you feel independent and free, and it will give you freedom. And then you are happy. But then you won't really be happy until you find the right husband and the right partner, and then you will be happy. And then goes on and on and on, and then you don't ever not only get caught up in your own life, then your children get bored, and then you got up yourself in your children's happiness, and it just, the list goes on and on and on. And at the end of your life, you are not worried about your life, you are not worried about your children's life, you will start to be worried about your grandchildren's. It's just, it never ends. And you know, the truth is that that is one of the greatest delusions in life. That we not only think that we need things, people, outward circumstances to make us happy, but we think that true happiness is outside ourselves. You know, I don't know if you have noticed, but I have noticed in my life that many times when circumstances they don't come as I was expecting from them to come out. You know, we have the tendency to blame other people, to blame fate, to blame karma, to blame the astrological planets that they were in the wrong position. And we make all those things responsible for our own happiness. And the thing is that when we give the responsibility to the outward circumstances, we become its slave. But when we take the responsibility of what is going on around us, we become the masters. Yogananda ji said, if you want to be sad, no one in this world will make you happy. But if you make up your mind that you are going to be happy under all circumstances, nothing and no one in this world will take that happiness away from you. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy under all circumstances. There is a beautiful story of Swami Kriyananda. When he started Ananda many years ago, it took them, Swami Kriyananda and a few of them, to build Ananda, to build those houses. Several years of their energy, willpower, time, so much they invested there. And they built a beautiful temple, just exquisite, very simple, where all of them would go every morning to meditate, they would have their meetings there. It was the heart of the community. A few years later, the temple collapsed and everything was destroyed. The temple was vanished. A few days after that temple was destroyed, Swami Kriyananda had to go to town and he had to buy a few things. So he went into a shop and he entered in that shop just by singing one of his songs. And the shopkeeper told him, "But Swamiji, you just lost the temple a few days ago. I can't believe that you are that happy that you are singing." And Swami Kriyananda answered, "Well, I have lost a temple, but I have not lost my voice." He chose to be happy. No matter what circumstances he had to go through. You know, one of the most advanced woman's disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda, she was Yanamata, Sister Yanamata. And her most constant prayer to God was, "God, change no circumstances, change me. Change no circumstances, change me." And this is one of the best attitude that we should have in life. Whatever comes to us, it comes for a reason. We need to go through that. God, don't change anything that is happening around me. Change me. Because when I change from within, when I will choose to be happy, no matter what you will send me, I will choose to deal with it with the right spirit. And don't try to choose to be happy after the satsang ends. Choose to be happy now, from this very moment. No matter what are you going through, be happy now. And even if you cannot smile, don't wait for anything outwardly just to make you smile. If you can't, go to the mirror, be in front of a mirror and pull the corners of your mouth up. That is the determination that it takes in order to be happy and not wait for outward circumstances to change and to give you the happiness that we all are looking for. So let's end again with that reminder of the secret, one of the secrets of happiness. The secret of happiness is the determination to be happy always, rather than wait for outward circumstances to make one happy. So from now on, 10:40, I choose to be happy.